So we are studying the Bodhipakkhya Dhamma, Buddha flight, right? And the password is Lynn?
444556778. No.
Louis?
It was close.
Close.
44557 and 8.
7 and 8.
Oh, I added one.
Yeah. Okay. So we have completed 444. Yeah, we have completed the 444. Now today we moved on to the first 5. Right? So this first 5 is called Insi or Indriya. And the first one is Saddha. Second one is Virya. Third one is mindfulness or Sati. And the fourth one is, which one? Samadhi. And the last one? Panya. Apart from Tasara, who can translate? Okay, so the Saddha, which is translated as belief, faith, confidence, I think 3 translations. Okay. So, belief, faith and confidence, that's the number 1. Number 2, obviously we know Virya means the effort, energy. Third one is very famous, that's the Sati, mindfulness. And the fourth one is Samadhi, which is concentration or focus attention. And the last one is a Panya, wisdom. Now, let's go to the first one, Saddha. Saddha, faith, belief and confidence. Now, what is the difference between faith and belief? Who can explain? What is the difference, or is it same?
It's something to do with religion, isn't it? It's something to do with religion.
Legend?
Religion.
Religion? Faith and belief.
It's faith not something to do with religion, and belief's just belief.
Belief is just a belief.
Faith is kind of like unseen, like not experienced, but belief is I've experienced it, so I believe.
Yeah. So faith is something, and then belief is something that you have experienced. Anybody else? Nara?
I'm not too sure.
Definition. ChatGPT. Faith and belief. And a confidence, there's another word, is confidence.
Faith can come within, but belief can come from anything or any root to the cause.
Belief is you believe in a idea, a statement, a thing that is true or false, and faith is investing your trust and your action in something that's perhaps broader and maybe not tied to a true or false statement.
Interesting.
Faith is something you develop with your experience, like you develop like step by step. Belief is something somebody says, like you have to believe this. You just believe it.
I don't know. Okay. So it depends how you look at this terminology, and then you put it into context, and then you explain. Now, whichever way you explain it, if that makes sense, and that you can convince a person who is listening, then that will go along with that. Yeah? Faith and a belief. And then most of the time it is related to religion. Now, when we say religion, and again, religion and faith are different. Right? So religion is something, is a bigger thing, which is like, let's say, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, is religion, known as a religion. Now, humanists, or Baha'i, or Sikh, I think Sikh is known as a religion now. Initially it was faith, not a religion. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? Like any cult is known as some form of a faith and a belief in it, not a religion. Right? Now the confidence is something very different, above this. Right? Once you have it, then you are fully confident that this is the right. This is fully confident, whether that's right or wrong, but your perception have already adapted that this is the truth. So that's how your confidence comes. So that's why it's quite interesting to observe. Faith can be belong to individual, each an individual, or a group. So as the religion. But the confidence is very different. The confidence is will be with someone who has developed certain perceptions on either the faith or a religion or the beliefs that you have not fully understood, but at least you are satisfied with it, and then you can confidently say that this is what I am, this is what I believe, and this is what I think is the truth. So that is the confidence. So when we have a faith or a belief, still not fully confirmed it yet. But the confidence is something that you already firm believe in it, firm faith in it. So that is the confidence. The confidence can be into anything. Once you are, let's say, brainwashed about something, then you have a confidence in it. Which story you want to hear? Sometimes can be very political. Suppose So when I was studying this behavioral psychology, one of the teachers, he gave an example that this one group had this study, and they in one village in America, in one of the villages, they have spread the news about Russians are good. Now and then, Russians are good. For 2 years. So they spread this news every day, oh, Russians are good. And then people began to think about that Russia is good. And then suddenly, I think it was when the Soviet broke, that time, then suddenly news came in a negative way, and then again, Russian becomes bad. Now, when you watch movie, is there any movie that projects Russians are good? Why? Why Russians never good? Yeah? Can you name any movie? So this is like a learning, analyzing the movie now. Now, in the Western, so now I do watch movies, okay, although I am a monk, so I'm a bit naughty monk. So in the West, the movies are always projected into fighting over bad, or a struggle between good and bad. From the childhood, you're always learning about it. This is bad, this is good. And then always a good one will win. And the good one sometimes got many bullets but still survive. The bad one, even a one shot gone. Yeah? So whereas, suppose if you watched the Bollywood movies, then it's not always good and bad. Bad group, bad group is fighting over the good group, or good group fighting over the bad group. It's more about the family and community conditions. And this again deeply rooted into the culture, their culture, in the Indian culture, that how deeply they are working out within the family and within the community to come out from this so-called conflicts. It's a very different in a Western, this Hollywood movie. Later on, as we look at that, then what happens? Whenever we think about the Russia, always bad. Doesn't matter how much they good they think they do. I hope they do. So, we still like that. So this is something. If it goes into our mind again and again, we develop the confidence that I can confidently say that that is bad. Now the practice of a meditation, now Buddhist perspective on these things are very clear, encourages us to investigate thoroughly from the beginning to the end before you have the confidence or this belief. Like the very first Jataka stories, among the 500 stories of a previous life of the Buddha that Buddha told. The first story, if we look at that, it actually encourages us to investigate again and again from the very detailed stuffs. There were two merchants, And these two merchants decided to go to another country that you have to cross the desert to sell their goods. And now this one merchant, he thought that if we go together, it will be a bit chaos and a bit crowded. And we may not be able to sell everything. So they come together and discuss. We better go one after another. So first you go, and then after a month later, so another person will go. Now the Buddha-to-be, the Bodhisattva, he offered it. He didn't choose himself to go or put himself as a person to decide. He just offered it. And then the second one, he thought that, I will go first. If I go first, my cows will have a good food. And no need to worry about the food, plenty there. And then when I arrived in another city, then again I can put any costs, any price on any goods. So then he told to his friend merchant that I will go first. And then the second one, he also said, that's good. I don't have to worry about the pricing, the items, because you already have priced it. And then I don't need to worry about the path. You already went through there, much easier. And I don't need to worry about food for my carts, my cows, and because after 1 month, all these new shoots will be coming up from the plants, and that will be more delicious for my cows. So he waited for a whole 1 month. So first group went, and then I was very excited, went. After days passed, they were about to cross the desert, and then they were crossing the desert in the middle of the desert, and the story is a story, so the demons come. Yeah, demons, and then the desert demons, they call. And they thought, humans are coming. Then these demons decided to disguise themselves as a merchant, and then their clothes are wet, coming. And told them that, where are you going? We are going for this city to sell these goods. So it goes on. What are you selling? What is in that? And they said, these behind carts, it has lots of food and lots of water because we are crossing the desert. And then this demon laughs. He laughs this and saying, you don't need to carry these because look at me. There was a raining and there is a oasis there. I am fully wet here, see? So dripping water. And then this merchant thought, that's right. And then he asked his fellow members to throw the water so that we can travel quicker. We will be able to cross this desert much quicker. And that was a trap. He didn't know. So as they went further and further into the desert, then more heat, no food, so they could not travel further. All the cows couldn't move further. So with that, they just camped somewhere, and then that was the demon's dinner. Right? And then after 1 month passed, and then another merchant, he thought, now this is a time to go now. The first merchants already passed for a long time. So he started his journey. So both, according to the story, both had 500 carts. So that means 500 people going together. So, in a similar way, after a month later, these demons again saw this another caravan coming, and then again disguised and wet clothes coming towards them, and then asked, what are these, this? And similar conversation, and then after that, his crew members said to this leader merchant that, why don't you throw this water so that we can cross this desert quite quickly? And it happened that it's like a protest began. Nobody wants to travel. Then in that case, this leader called a meeting. So everybody came and then sat down and had a meeting. And then he asked that if there is a rain, we must see the sky. And then in the sky must have a clouds. Do you see any clouds? Obviously in a desert, no clouds. Right? And no one said that there is a cloud. And then further on, if there is a rain, you must feel the wind, the cold breeze. Anybody felt it for miles that we have been traveling? You say, no, we didn't. And then if that's a really heavy thunder, as this trespasser, I don't know what is it, so this demon, disguised human, claimed, then there must be a thunder. Is there anyone who heard any thunder? Then say, no. And then further, he said to his crew that this guy's human was fully wet. Did anybody notice that his cart wasn't wet? Nobody says yes. So, as a result of that, as long as we don't see the oasis, then we'll not destroy or will not throw this water away. And then always remember that if anybody is going to act on this water, first come to me. See, this is a story where this is coming from. Just the one single shot of this guy's human, this guy's demon was coming, and the conversation, without interrupting this guy's demon, this bodhisattva had already investigated everything. He heard, he saw, he had a conversation, but he didn't believe in straight away. But his mind was so alert and investigating all around. So that investigative quality is the key that we have to develop. Now, in order to develop that this quality, now obviously it's not like God-given, the English phrase, God-given, it comes with the birth, not like that. According to the Buddha's teachings, we have to develop it. We have to develop that. So that development, gave a simile, is like you are what is it called? One who makes the pot out of a clay.
Potter.
Potter. Right? Imagine yourself like a potter. Right? And you're making a pot. You will be taking care of that mud, this clay, and then you shape it, and then you make a pot, and then you have a full confidence in that creation of this pot that it can hold water, and there is no holes that leaks the water. So practice of a mindfulness meditation is basically, it's like making this pot that we can hold this confidence in it. Okay? Making this pot. Now it requires a lot of effort to make this pot. We have to learn how to make the clay. We have to learn how to shape this clay into the pot. And we may have to do it again and again, repeatedly doing it, until we become skilled in it. Right? So when I was a student, art student, so I studied art before I became a monk. Right? And I remember my entrance, what's called, I forgot now, examination, intern? Yeah, examination. I went, and then that examination was, there was a pot in front of me, and I had to draw. I had to draw that pot. And I thought I drew it perfectly. But the shape was completely different. However, because of the shadings I put and all around, on that merit, I was given a place in the college. Now, and after that, so I went to college, and one of the subjects that I had to learn, was making a clay. And the subject was making a clay. And I thought, I am a farmer. I have been playing with this mud all the time. It's easy peasy job. And I was very heedless. And that was not the case. I thought that straight away going into the room, you will have a plenty of a clay and you will be playing with the clay. Now that is not the case. As I went into the room, no clay. There was a blackboard, and then the teacher was explaining about the clay for a couple of days before I touched the clay itself. And that's how gradually I learned to play with the clay, making a clay, and creating some stuffs from it. So like that. So practice of a mindfulness is also like that. Sounds nice, sounds good. And then we may have this desire to practice, but it takes time. Until you have full confidence that this is what it is. And when you have a full confidence in it, then there are 4 things come. Until then, 4 things are just the concepts. It doesn't make sense. So 4 things arises. Number 1, how wonderful that the Buddha, how he managed to found it, this technique, and how he managed to realize this technique. So that is the one wonder that we will have. And that's not just a wonder, it becomes amazing, and then also we feel like Gratitude, yes. I feel like a gratitude. Right? So that's the first thing that will come into our realization, that such a wonderful thing, and if you have studied his life, then you will realize that how difficult it was for him to realize this. Right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, because we have been practicing and we have gradually developed the confidence that this practice of a meditation actually really good for me, and it really helps, and it is really, really good. And I can realize that. I can feel it. And then as the Buddha, he is freed, so I can be freed too. So that's the second thing, that you will have this confidence. And then the third one, that because I practice, so I get the calmness. Because I practice, so I got the peace. Because I practice this meditation, so I can see how things evolves, how things changes. So we believe in our practice now. And then the last one, obviously, the result. So you will realize that because of this practice, now I realize this. That's why sometimes even I feel, particularly in the morning, if I don't do, then I feel like something is missing all day. Something is missing all day. And then if I don't do, for some days, particularly I don't do when I go away. So this is like now, from tomorrow for 5 days, I'm not going to do, pretty much. Then I can notice that emotions begins to affect more quicker, feelings becomes more vulnerable, and then when somebody says or does, then straight away there is a spark, or there's like a effect. It's like a what's called, when you hit the stone on the surface of the water, ripple effect. You can feel that. Then you realize, okay, I need to go. I have to have some space for myself. I better go and do some meditation. And then gradually it just comes back again. So that's the result of the practice. So that's also, we will be able to see that these we become a more easier to see it. And further on, with that, what happens that when things happen, we will be not disturbed by things. We will be seeing that in a stages of like a one after another, and able to see, able to investigate even a one thing into different levels, seeing the cause and effects of that, how these are relating and how these are changing, like that. So this is the first thing in the first fives, right? So it's called saddha, and it's a really important part of our journey as well. If we don't have that, then we will not be able to practice regularly. We would not be putting our energy regularly into it. It's just like, oh, I don't want to. This is just something like a cult, or maybe converting me into Buddhism, sort of like that. Then there is a blockage, and you can't get the benefit out of this practice. So that's why it's very important to develop from just whether your faith or whether your belief, that it helps to your body and it helps your mind, it helps your spirituality, or it helps your lifestyle, not just keep that into that stage. Develop into the further on that, okay, these are things, at least of these, having this confidence in these four things and knowing that the last one is to see this cause and effects in a very, detailed process of it. Then you will not give up meditation. Meditation becomes your part of your life. Everything, whatever you do, become a part of your life, and then you will be looking from the second merchant's eye. Not just this disguised demon coming and told you that there is a water, but you have seen already sky, wind and rain and thunder, and even in front of the cart that not wet, like that. And then in the midst of that, when his crew came and asked that, he wasn't annoyed by it, but he just called the meeting to discuss, like that. So that's the skill we have to develop, right? So that skill is called shaping from the mud to a jar that you can put a water that won't leak. So remember this, a pot with the water in. So the rest of other four things that we're going to investigate will be related these four this water in a pot. Right? With this I end here. Anybody wants to share or ask a question? No? Okay, in that case, let's practice loving kindness meditation to finish stuff. Sitting in a comfortable position, relax yourself and spend some time on today's reflection. On faith or the saddha. Whichever story that you want to take away and reflect. You may ponder on that and wisely reflecting. And the practice of mindfulness has a lot to do with the development of this wisdom. practice loving kindness meditation, so bring your attention to observe the sensations in your body. So feel the sensations in your body. And bring your attention to your hands. So shifting from the bodily sensations to your hand. Whatever sensations that you can feel in your hands, just observing objectively. Could be heat, tingling, palpitations. And shift that attention to your heart. Feel the beating heart. And if you can't feel the beating heart, you may put your right hand on your heart area to feel the beating heart, or you may bring a smile on your face. Whichever way, just to feel the connection with your heart. And as you feel the connection with your heart, generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, allowing yourself to be happy, at peace and free from suffering. And mentally, you may tell to yourself, may I be happy. May I be happy. May I be happy. Feel that sense of happiness. I am peaceful. I am peaceful. May I be liberated, liberated. So pondering on that for some times and reflecting that happiness that you are experiencing, freedom that you are achieving, how peaceful it is. Isn't that wonderful, even just to think, I am happy. Similarly, sharing this loving thought to other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings. And sharing this loving thought to all other sentient beings. Like imagining yourself like Himalayan mountains, spreading your hands to everybody, everyone, all the creatures. May all beings be happy. So sharing this loving thought from bottom of our heart. May they be at peace. May they be free from suffering. May they be liberated. Now bring your attention back to your hands. Feel the sensations in your hands and to your body. Feel the sensations in your body and to your eyes. Feel the sensations in your eyes and creating intention to open your eyes as you hear the gong. And reflect for a few moments. Now let's do this chanting. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all beings, whether they may be, will experience aging, illness, and death, be free from enmity and danger. May they live in peace and safety, be free from mental and physical harm. May they be free from ill will and hatred, be free from suffering, fear and distress. May their bodies and minds be at ease. May they care for themselves with wisdom. May they maintain their happiness and well-being. May they be released from pain. May they find healing, happiness, and peace. May their well-being grow and continue. May their joy deepen and expand. With the bone of the womb, from eggs, from moisture, or spontaneously arisen, may they rejoice in the merits we have generated on this occasion, and may they ultimately attain the supreme peace of Nibbana. May this be a condition for the attainment of Nibbana. Sadhu, 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 hanumotami. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Sawakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Subhadivanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang